Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, wherever you are, whenever you are. Welcome to a new DC live stream. I'm your one and only host today, Matthew Batiri, here solo because my partner in crime is at an event with the big boss. So I've been given the reins and it's time for us to now get into the news. There's not much discussion because I'm not going to just talk to myself. Today, it's going to be a little bit boring for you guys. So we're going to jump straight into the information. We're going to talk about news, Twitter highlights, adoption highlights. And if we've got some time, we'll check out the charts, because if you saw my Bitcoin technical analysis video yesterday, you would have heard me saying that I was short-term bullish. And we're going to hopefully check out the charts and see if it's going to continue. Alrighty. So starting off with the first news highlight, we have MasterCard will help financial institutions offer crypto. So payment giant MasterCard is taking another step to further its involvement in the crypto space with the objective of growing its core business model. The company will launch a program that will help banks and financial institutions to offer crypto-based products, according to a report from CNBC. So the program will be expanded to other regions and institutes in the coming years, and MasterCard will operate as a bridge alongside Paxos. Might check out the price of Paxos in a second. Trading platform already offering similar services to companies like PayPal. And lastly, in late 2020, PayPal and Paxos announced their partnership to grant people in the US access to Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies. The partners operate as a bridge between the digital assets and the investors and handle custody, compliance, and security. So obviously, crypto is going mainstream, which is great. More adoption, which is even better, especially from one of the two biggest credit card providers in the world. You know, we've got Visa and MasterCard. But I don't know if crypto will replace fiat. Because I'm not too sure, you know, that when Nixon stopped the US dollar being backed by gold, it kind of spun things out. Rather than having an or, so like basically went from, money being backed by gold and nothing else. I think in the future we're going to have different abilities. So we're going to have more and. So we're going to have, you can use MasterCard and Visa and your Crypto.com card. So people aren't going to want to be tied down to only one option. They're going to obviously be interested in having more options to spend their crypto, different currencies, different tokens, cryptocurrencies, et cetera, et cetera. So that'll be interesting. And look, whenever we hear good news like this only pumps the price. We're in a bear market right now, so therefore it's probably allowing the price to stay the same. But news like this, where we've got huge adoption by a great big company, you will see the price go crazy because people read the news and people just sort of FOMO in. We tend to get more of a reaction, like what we saw this year with the bear market. We saw the announcement of Russia declaring war on Ukraine, and you saw the markets absolutely crash, even though Ukraine's probably not a huge import-exporter of goods, but Russia definitely is one of the superpowers. So people thought that things were going to go bad, so people started pulling their funds. Next, we've got China seeks to reduce dependence on dollar, proposes to issue an Asian yuan. So amid ongoing global CBDC adoption, if you don't know what CBDC is, central bank digital currency, China proposes an Asian-wide digital currency to reduce the continent's economic reliance on the US dollar. And research shows the Asian region relies heavily on the US dollar for international transactions at the expense of their local currencies. It reflects the inability to get finance in their local currencies. So just like CBDCs, the researchers think a distributed ledger technology would back the Asian token. The token would peg to 13 currencies, which includes currencies of 10 Association of South Asia Nations, ASEAN, ASEAN, that's the acronym, members nation. The other three currencies that would form the token peg are the Chinese yuan, the Japanese yen, and the South Korean won. So we're seeing a trend with accumulation of countries is better than obviously one super country. That's why we've got things like NATO. So it looks like the Asian countries are doing their own thing with ASEAN. And from our last videos, we talked about BRICS. and the emergence of the WEF prediction that America's dominance will be over by 2030. So this Asian one might be a better solution for the Asian countries, and I mean ASEAN countries, not Asian countries, for their local currencies rise in value. So yeah, definitely. I mean, this sounds like it'd be something like the euro, where the euro, is for, I think, 16 countries or whatever. So they basketed their currencies, put it all into one. It does help when you're traveling in Europe, only having to deal with the euro. And if Asia does something very similar, that's going to be, huge for their tourism, and also maybe for their people, that work cross country or cross to a different country, because sometimes people that live near the borders might work across the road, which is a different country. So that'll be pretty cool. Alrighty, the third news article we have today, 75% of young US investors want to diversify portfolios with crypto. So we've heard a lot of this research before. More and more people want crypto. They know that they can make really good money. They know there's volatility, but they're happy to, see 1 to 5x on their money if they just buy Bitcoin, for an example, because Bitcoin's gonna do that at least each bull run. So the research from CNBC from 2021 estimated that 47% of millennial millionaires had invested at least a quarter of their funds in digital currencies. On the other hand, 83% of the older investors were not fond of crypto and have not invested. So we are going to see, if you've been around for a while, we've probably heard, we've talked about, boomers being in their late stage of their life. A lot of the inheritance from these old forms of investment that these people have, that money is going to trickle into digital assets, because it is the future. Everything is digital these days. We're on our phones more than ever. So I think that when money does get passed down through inheritance and so forth, we're going to probably see a lot of people putting money into crypto, Bitcoin, stuff like that. They're the blue chip coins, because they'll want to risk. They won't want to put that money at risk, especially if it's life-changing money, but maybe they'll use that to do a bit of gambling in the stock market to see if they can improve their lives, because we all know that money does help that. Alrighty, next one, we have Shark Tank superstar believes crypto market will start after this one event. I wonder if he writes these headlines himself, or he pays someone to say that he's a superstar. But anyways, famous Canadian businessman and television personality Kevin O'Leary, aka Mr. Wonderful, what a nickname to give yourself, argues that once a specific stablecoin bill is passed and institutions smell policy, then you've got a real move up. And that's where Bitcoin will probably break out of this current sideways range. So the Shark Tank star appeared on the Crypto Banter YouTube channel on October 14th episode, where he suggested a reason to start going long Bitcoin, and that his reason is connected to the policy in the United States. So this guy's saying to go long. So I basically wouldn't be going long right now, because I'd probably be staying short. He's basically saying, go in now. Maybe he knows that it's going to go low, so he wants to maybe sell a little bit up in the mid sort of 20s, for example. But guys like him, guys like Jim Cramer on Squawk Box, whenever they make announcements like this, you kind of sometimes psychology tells you, yeah, let's go long, let's buy some crypto. But you should actually do the opposite, because you're gonna, he's doing exactly what I said. His intentions probably he probably wants the price of Bitcoin to pump up 5, 10, 15%, and then he might sell some more Bitcoin, or he'll probably him and his big mates might short the market, knowing that there's more pain to come, because I don't see any way out right now in the short term from the current crisis that we're going through worldwide. Interest rates are still going up. There's still war. We're about to go into some tweets about France, France having another, not strike. What's the word I'm looking for? They're walking the streets again, whatever that's called. It's at the tip of my tongue. Maybe someone in the chat's going to remind me what that's called. I forget what it's called. We'll talk about it as a protest. There we go, protest. How did I forget the word protest? But basically, they're protesting the streets about the increase in cost of living. We're going to talk about Canada in a second as well. So look, plenty of stuff out there that tells me that the pain isn't yet over and we're not going to see a reversal. So, you know, that's why when I read stuff like this, I'm always like, maybe I'll do the opposite of what you're thinking and telling everyone. So he went on to discuss the Stablecoin Transparency Act, which he says has a chance of getting passed by the US Congress very quickly after November 8th and the date of the midterm elections, as reported. The push for the stablecoin regulation follows the massive collapse of Terra, which is a protocol that powered its algorithmic stablecoin UST. And if you don't know what happened to Terra, or you might know Luna, they had a huge collapse during this bear run. It probably added fuel to the fire. A lot of people were in Terra. Everyone thought it was the next best thing. But obviously someone found a loophole and obviously, you know, shorted the bed Jesus out of it and cost a lot of people a lot of money. So, yeah, it'll be interesting to see if we are at the bottom. I hope he's right. Like, to be honest, I hope I am wrong and we don't go lower. And I hope that he's right. We start pumping from here. Next, we have Germany leaves the US behind in top crypto economies in Q3, the report says. Germany has become the most favorable crypto economy in the world in the third quarter of 2022. According to a new report, the United States, the joint top rank holder from last quarter, fell 6 places to rank 7th in the top crypto economies. So Germany, although not a tax haven, is considered one of the strongest all-around traditional tax crypto economies that reward long-term crypto holders. German law charges zero tax on crypto holdings over a year. That's pretty good. That's pretty good, not having to pay capital gains on your crypto if you hold it for at least a year. Alrighty, we are on to the Twitter highlights. I'm going to pass it over to my wonderful guest, Matthew Battieri. Thank you, Matt. Lovely to be here. Let's jump into the first tweet. It's not as good when I do these by myself because there's no banter between me and Wasim. And unfortunately, I don't get him to tease him about being a cat person. We all know that dogs are better. So guys, please make today interactive for me. Drop me a comment, and I'd love to have a bit of a chat, even if it's over comment or maybe later you might want to jump on a call with me. So I just got a comment. Poor Matt. Thanks, Selena. Yes, super boring here by myself. So I hope Michael's having fun. And yeah, just let him know that I'm doing my job. Dogs are definitely better. They sure are. All right, first tweet we got from Alea Helpen. 5 ways governments cancel your money, taxes, inflation, freeze funds such as Canada and Lebanon, actual confiscation in Cyprus, central bank digital currencies coming soon. So yeah, 100%. You know, anything that, you know, right now, if your money's in the bank, you could go, the bank could, you know, foreclose. You can't get your money. The bank can also hold all transactions. We do it to ourselves all the time. When we lose our card or we lose our wallet, we stop transactions. Or even sometimes when we do transactions, the bank will give us a call and go, hey, did you just have this unusual transaction because you bought something on a website that you've never been to before? Or, you know, they always say, oh, by the way, we see you're trying to, you know, transfer a large sum of money. Are you sure? Blah, blah, blah. Because they want to be earning interest on your money that you've got parked in their accounts. And they're always putting short-term freezes, holding our accounts. And this is obviously stuff that this is what digital currencies or cryptocurrencies is trying to fight against. Us being our own bank, not being held back when, what, and how we want to spend our money. So look, right now the governments do still have too much power, but look, right now all I do is peer-to-peer transactions using cryptocurrencies if I owe people money, because I'm trying to alleviate having a bank account. I just got my new privacy card this week. What a fantastic product I have here. So I can now obviously spend my cryptocurrency privately. I can also do peer-to-peer transactions on some private networks if I owe people money or people owe me money and I want the money paid back. So look, I'm trying to become my own bank as quickly and as fast as possible. And if I can do that, then that's going to be good, because then I don't have the possibility of my funds being held by someone else. Here's a great example. Kanye West, I put $140 million into JP Morgan. They treated me like shit. So if JP Morgan Chase is treating me like that, how are they treating the rest of you? So they shut down his bank account. I'm assuming they didn't take his funds, but you know, stuff like this, it shows why we just need to have a human population product where we can just transact between ourselves without no central authority overlooking what we're doing with our money. It's our money. We should do whatever we like. And, you know, it is what it is. Unfortunately, it is what it is. But hopefully we see some change soon. So PPP loans in aggregate probably ended up being the most corrupt part of the US fiscal response during 2020 and 2021, and mostly in favor of the wealthy. So basically, PPP stands for Paycheck Protection Program, which are SBA, so Small Business Administration loans, employed during the spurt of COVID-19 crisis to help small businesses to stay afloat. Consequently, there are frauds that receive the PPP, such as multiple businesses listed at the same residential address, suspiciously high payrolls, and companies not needing any assistance. However, almost all loans are now forgiven and converted to grants by the SBA. So one of the reasons why we have inflation right now, we printed money, we gave it away, and now we're taking back twofold because they know that they made a mistake, even though they thought they were trying to save our lives, lockdowns, vaccines, and all the rest of it. Let's move on before we get too deep with that. Alrighty, next one from James Lobb. The American dream is just that. So this is basically a social class self-identification of people that earn between $0 and over $170,000. And this is what people think of themselves. So these guys in the first, I guess, 3, 4 to 5 brackets who earn less than 50K seem to be, you know, well realized that they're in the lower class. But basically what this is showing is that everyone thinks that they're in the middle class. And the middle class, you know, has the biggest number of votes, except for maybe the first... or maybe till about here. So from 60,000. So there's still people that are earning less than 60,000 that believe that they're middle class. I don't think, I do tell people that I'm middle class, but now that I look at this, maybe I should be on the bridge of like working class and middle class. I don't know. It is, when you self-identify yourself, I guess it's just to boost your ego. So, you know, it's just one of those things. People, I mean, yeah. I don't know. I don't even talk about what class I'm in, but it's a bit of a weird thing to give yourself a label with. Alrighty, next one. We talked about this at the start in regards to the news. So massive protests against Macron, soaring energy prices, and the rising cost of living in Paris, France yesterday. So I don't know if a lot of you guys know, I'm actually French. So I know a lot about French history. If you don't know much about French history, you would have known that we actually cut off our king's and queen's head, and we gave people a power to the people because, you know, we didn't like hierarchy. We didn't like, you know, or the food chain that was kind of happening. And French people love to protest. They like to go on strike. They like to basically give it to the government. So I do like being French. I do like that we are, you know, as people, we tend to be against rule and governance and, you know, authority. So, you know, it's great to see that these guys are speaking up. But look, at the end of the day, how much change can you really make? I guess this is probably one of the reasons why Americans are allowed to bear arms, because if all these people had arms, then there'd probably be more of a riot than a protest. But you know, this is a peaceful way of doing it and showing the, you know, the government that you tend to be residing under, that you don't like their methods, and that, you know, when more than one person feels the same way, then things probably need to be done and changed. So I think also France, funnily enough, I heard something on the news recently. They recently gathered 150 common people, so just residents of France, and they're formulating a climate anti-crisis sort of you know, pathway or roadmap. So they're getting their citizens involved, and I thought that was an absolutely amazing idea. I guess this is what DAOs are for in the cryptocurrency world, having a decentralized autonomous system where people can vote on what needs to happen and can happen. I don't know why we do that. We don't do that already with a lot of rules and regulations that every country does. Imagine just having a you know, an app that is you know, blockchain, so you can log in. I still don't even know why we go to booths to vote. We should be able to do all this stuff from the, you know, our mobile phones these days, and vote on different policies, making cannabis legal, you know, increasing the prices of certain taxes on certain people or decreasing. Like, it should all be put to a vote, and majority, gets voted in, just like what we vote people. But this is just one man's idea. Who am I to tell governments and countries on how they should run their country? Alrighty, let's move on to the adoption highlights. So, first adoption highlight we have is Dubai Police Force becomes first to offer virtual services in the metaverse. So the United Arab Emirates is carrying on with its widespread implementation of the metaverse throughout all its governments and commercial enterprises. In this line, the Ajman Police in Dubai became the first law enforcement agency in the world to provide its services inside the metaverse, according to a report published by posted local news outlet Khalid Times in October 16th. So during GIDEX Technology Week, which was a big crypto convention, was it a crypto convention? No, it must have been. But I think they had a recent big crypto convention in Dubai. So, anyways, the Ajman Police General Command introduced a new innovative service called Request for Sponsorship, which enables the general public to contact the police remotely. So that's pretty cool. But I'm trying to understand how they get the metaverse involved. I probably need to go into it. It seems like, why, if it's an emergency, would you really want to have to log into stuff? You kind of want to just dial 000, which is the easiest way. Alrighty. Speaking all this time by myself has got me thirsty and I have to clear my throat. All right, next one. We have Snoop Dogg. Where are we here? Snoop Dogg creates music video via Web3 firm Astro Projects from this the news article. So I'm going to show you guys a quick little, hopefully I don't get done by copywriting, so I'm going to put it on pause. But yeah, this is the new Snoop Dogg. So Snoop Dogg's it seems like he's transformed with Larry David. We'll talk about Larry David in a second. But basically, this music video from Crypto Enthusiasm featuring a digital performance shot by Web3 company Astro Project was released on Saturday by the legendary West Coast rapper. The music video, animated in Unreal Engine, expands on the song's use of a remixed version of the Curb Your Enthusiasm theme tune by making various parallels to the show. Everything about Snoop Dogg's avatar, from his clothes to his spectacular spectacles and his hair, is reminiscent of comic Larry David. Coinciding with music video premiere, Astro Project gave out 11,111 digital donuts or digital keys that could be used to unlock supplementary content such as 3D models and character animations utilized in the clip. Now, I like Snoop Dogg. He's a big advocate of cryptocurrencies, NFTs. He's got some land on Sandbox. He's really embracing everything about NFTs. I think he was one of the first artists to NFT some of his songs. So if you own that, you can remix it. You can do all sorts of things. I'm not too sure if it's on Spotify anymore, because I know a lot of artists started saying that they didn't want to be on Spotify. So I'd have to check that out. But man, it's good that Snoop Dogg is being a pioneer and trying to convert a lot of high net worth individuals, but also, people with influence into the crypto sphere. Because, I'm sure you've heard 50 Cent got paid in Bitcoin for one of his albums many years ago when Bitcoin was worth nothing. I don't know how much he spent. Snoop Dogg's doing this. This is great. I know Eminem, I think Eminem did an NFT of one of his songs and just the melody, and you can reuse that. So it's pretty cool. Alrighty, moving on. We have South Korea to implement blockchain-based digital identity system. So South Korea to make a comprehensive utilization of the blockchain industry in various sectors. According to a recent report from Bloomberg, the South Korean government is planning to permit the use of blockchain-based digital identification to its residents in place of conventional cards. Sounds like New South Wales. In Australia, we have a state called New South Wales. They're well ahead of the times. We've had a digital identification card for 4 or 5 years now. I moved up to sunny Queensland. It is a better state. We're still better at you than rugby league in New South Wales, but they still use cards, and I have to haul around a wallet again because I hate wallets. And this was the best thing about New South Wales. I could have my phone, and I've got everything on there. I've got my Apple Pay, my credit cards. I could have my identification. So these days, I don't want to be walking around with bulky, wallets and stuff like that. I want to have as less stuff on me as possible. And that's the great thing about New South Wales. I could just walk around with my phone and nothing else. So it's now that Korea's doing it with blockchain, I would have thought that Korea would have already had like a digital identity, because they love their tech, they love their crypto. But anyways, the South Korean authority may implant digital IDs as apps with mobile devices that function similarly to the traditional residence registration card. The blockchain-powered IDs would be completely decentralized, preventing the government from monitoring how or when the ID is being used. Super cool. That would be good. Imagine if it did track your identity and it's telling your boss, hey, he was at the club on Saturday night having some drinks. That's why he's feeling pretty crappy today. So it's great that they're doing it where they can't be spied on. Well, that's what they're telling you, but maybe in the back end they're collecting data. So that's something the residents of Korea are going to have to monitor themselves. Next is Binance partners with crypto air tickets for flight ticket purchases. Users can now purchase low-cost flight tickets using cryptocurrency via Binance Pay. Binance recently teamed up with crypto air tickets in a collaboration. Users will be able to purchase flight tickets using Binance Pay as a result of their new partnership. And users will have the option of reserving and paying for flight tickets using the cryptocurrency in their wallets thanks to the new partnership. Users will be able to book flights through their marketplace as a result of the collaboration, and this eliminates the need for any other flight booking apps. So users gain access to over 1,000 airlines and over 9,000 destinations through the Crypto Air Ticket partnership, and users can easily log into their app to find Crypto Air Tickets in the Marketplace mini apps section. Now, I saw Binance talk at the Australian CryptoCon, and they were talking about a credit card, their Binance credit card, like crypto credit card, like whoever else has got a card these days. And it's going to be really interesting because I think Binance is actually the best platform, and I hope that one day they sponsor this channel. But if they do bring out a credit card, it's going to go absolutely bonkers. So now that they're doing airlines and this stuff, they are surely going to be releasing a lot of their credit cards very soon. So that was one thing that I wanted to share with you guys from the Australian CryptoCon. And the last one we have today is digital currencies could soon become a legal tender in Macau, his house. And Macau is an inch closer to the eventual adoption of digital currency as it strives to develop a more comprehensive set of measures to prevent the flow of dirty money and tax evasion in the largest gambling hotspot in the planet. I'd love to go to Macau. I won't lie, if you're watching this, I don't mind a bit of a gamble. Macau's executive committee has recently deliberated on a draft measure whose objective is to incorporate digital currency in a basket of legal tender financial vehicles. Following such discussions, the Macau administration said Friday that it intends to include digital currency in its financial system forecast, and other news outlets reported on Monday. And Macau's draft bill, also known as the legal framework for the development and issuance of currency, seeks to reinforce the current legal infrastructure to ensure the same standing of virtual money and other related currencies that the report said. Yeah, imagine, I can't wait till the day that you can just use digital money to gamble at a casino. You can just tap your card and they have that. It's probably a little bit too risky. That's why they don't do it, because people probably have more of a gambling addiction, because we all know when you lose at the casino, there's no ATMs in the casino. You got to walk out of the casino. So it gives you a bit of a break from the losses and makes you think, hey, I've done my ass today. Maybe I should just go home now, because it's not a good time to go back in. So that'll be interesting. I don't think, maybe because Macau's so big, they'll have people wanting to easily access funds to play slots or whatever they do. So at the end of the day, whatever they are going to implement, that fast forwards the adoption of cryptocurrencies and transactions. That's going to be awesome. Alrighty, guys, that is it for the DC live stream. Let's have a quick look at what Bitcoin is doing. Let me just chuck on the daily. So still hovering around. Looks like we are hovering around the 618. So I measured this out for you guys yesterday. I said that we would get some resistance at this 618 from this week right here, and we got that on around about 6 o'clock last night, my time. We wicked there, we came back down to the monthly, then we pushed forward, and now we're finding resistance at the golden pocket from this high to this low, the 618. But it looks like to me, if this money flow on the 4-hour does cross over to the green, we could see a really good pump. But let's have a look. Looks like we've got enough momentum. Looks like we're gonna be pushing for high here, guys. So what I probably forecast, we might do a swing failure pattern of this high. So what will happen? The price could come up just above, where's that? 19,933, which means 20K is just above that. We might hit just above or just below 20K, surpassing this week, and then come back down. But yeah, people are playing games right now. We're forming a bit of an ascending triangle, which is a bullish pattern. And looks like we, will have a breakout some form, in the next, next 8 hours, I would say. We'll have a breakout in the next 8 hours. Probably it looks like a move to the upside. The money flow in the 1 hour is to the upside. The MACD looks like it wants to cross over, but these crosses, when the moving averages cross so far above the zero line, they don't last long. So we might have like a mini cross and then come back down lower and lower. So we'll form some bearish divergences. The stochastic RSI is pointing to the upside on the 1 hour. On the 4 hour, it is at the top side. So we could go sideways for a bit, sort of like what we did back here, and then roll over. So that would give us one last pump to the upside and then roll over. But yeah, looks like the moving averages have crossed over. Oh no, they're not yet. So they want to cross over because we are in the overbought territory. So we need to have a bit of a sell-off. And I think, yeah, we do have a bearish divergence as well here on Market Cipher. Lower low in price, higher high on momentum wave. That is a bearish divergence. And let's see if that's also on the RSI. Let me pop on the RSI. Let me remove that. Let me remove that. Let's go RSI. Where are we? There we go. What did it say there? What did it say there? RSI? More indicators. I've got, I don't have any indicators on. Let me just remove these. Okay. So we don't have a bearish divergence on the RSI. So this could be a false signal on Market Cipher B. We can clearly see that the RSI is still below here. We are below, so that's okay. It would be good for us to keep moving to the upside. All right, let's see if we have any questions. So there's a lot of praise about people in Europe want no part of a NATO. That's interesting. Rant mode on. Yes, Dave definitely went on a rant there. Cane toad, definitely not a cane toad. I'm still a New South Welshman. Spicy Tupac is also in the vid. Haha, gonna watch it later. Oh, I hope he is, man. I love a bit of Tupac. I love a bit of Tupac. But it's open to everyone because it's blockchain. All right, guys, that is it from me. I've 2 minutes over time. I've got to prepare. I have a coaching call with our Millionaire Club members this evening. We're going to talk about the importance of diversification of your assets and security. If you're watching this video and you want to see maybe a replay of one of our private coaching sessions to our Millionaire Club members, just drop a comment below. Let me know, and we might post the replay on our YouTube channel in the future. All right, guys, that's it from me. Enjoy the rest of your Tuesday evening, and I will catch you guys later.